What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, we got to talk about something new regarding The Last of Us Part 2. So it's a little unsure if this is going to be a remaster or some sort of director's cut. I think a director's cut makes the most sense if we compare it to something like Ghost of Tsushima, but this made the rounds last night, and it's because Gustavo, the brilliant man that he is, the musician that he is, he was doing, I believe, like a Q&A, and he had talked about this new version of the game. He was being told by the interviewer that they liked that he was in the game, right? He's in the beginning of the game, he's playing a banjo, and then he kind of chimed in and he said, well, in the new version of the game, the players will be able to go up to him and request songs for him to play, not just the one that he plays in, say, the original game. And that's all he said. So I think that's enough to say, okay, well, there has to be something new of this game coming out. Now, to me, again, a director's cut, considering we had Ghost of Tsushima, we had Death Stranding, I think that's like the new popular phrase right now. My one kind of conspiracy theory with it, and I've been saying this actually for quite a while, I think the idea was to do multiplayer with it. Now, you know, multiplayer probably was supposed to come out around the time the base game came out, and obviously things got pushed. And I think as time went on, they probably thought, okay, well, we could do some sort of director's cut. Now, how much gets added to a director's cut, right? Like how different, like that's something that's quite small. The fact that, okay, well, he plays one song, now he'll be able to play, what do you want to say, 3, 4, 5 songs. He gets to pick and say like a wheel or something. That's something small, but like, is there anything else added in the game? Is there anything else bigger than that in the game? Is there some sort of DLC? We had talked about actually rumors back when The Last of Us Part 2 originally came out. I think Jason Schreier did some reporting on it that maybe there were DLC ideas. Maybe it was going to be Abby. People kind of wanted Tommy at the time, right? So there are plenty of things you can do with it, but as time has gone on, and I think that's kind of another issue with it, right? I mean, Ghost of Tsushima, getting the Icky Island DLC, that did come quite removed from the game, like, years later. So I guess it's still possible. We're sitting here now 3 years removed from The Last Was Part 2. I think if anything happens, and again, like at this point, I think it's going to happen, you wouldn't say something like that. You wouldn't say new version. Now you could say, well, maybe a remaster, kind of upping it for PS5. Well, that kind of is what they've used for these director's cuts, right? That's kind of part of the overall thing. So could be remaster, could be director's cut, but you wouldn't say there's a new version of the game if there wasn't, a new version of the game. This has been spread around like wildfire, so I do absolutely believe it's going to happen. At this point, again, with the multiplayer having all of its issues, do you just kind of announce this in the next couple months? Does this come out like in the fall? You got Spider-Man. Is this something else that can come out in the fall? Because the longer you wait, again, I understand they may want to try to line it up with the multiplayer. You may have wanted to try to line it up with season 1 of the show. Now, if you go to season 2, you're thinking, what, like late next year or whatever. But the longer you go, I don't know. At that point, I guess it does become a remaster. I don't know if you need a quote-unquote, they would call it, a director's cut for the game 4 years. If you do it next, say, June, right? 4 years after the game comes out, do you need a director's cut? At that point, it literally would just be remastering it because you're putting it on PS5. You could definitely argue, does the game need to be remastered? Is it necessary? That is all very, very valid to kind of throw out there. Obviously, we're in the remake and remaster age, I guess, still. But to me, it'll be very interesting how they kind of lay it all out, what changes there'll actually be. And again, I really believe the idea was to line this up with the multiplayer. I think because the multiplayer is taking so long, that it kind of puts this in like a unfortunate, kind of situation where it's too far removed from the base game. I think to probably call it a director's cut, so you're probably going more remaster, but you still maybe want to line with the multiplayer. I imagine it's not going like perfectly as they planned it out maybe like 2-3 years ago, but it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to check out any of my other social media links, our Twitter, all my other YouTube channels, all the links are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.